All right, welcome to the Willie Lawson Show here on Spreaker.com. It is 12:30, and we're doing this show because we won't be able to do a regular Willie Lawson show today, and today is November 1st because we will be recording an episode of Porch Talk Radio on television this afternoon at 1 o'clock, so it won't be live, but it'll be on at 6, it'll be on Saturday at 4 to 6, so you want to be able to listen to it then and watch it then and all that stuff. So in order to keep on track and do what we need to do, we are actually doing a Spreaker cast that will be on our website. We were able to thanks to the generosity of the great folks at the Alpha Republican Club, we were able to upgrade our membership here at Spreaker, and we've got they say we've got 179 minutes for the show. Yeah, but we won't be doing a 3-hour show today here. But won't be. This will be a fairly short show, but we've got some things that we need to talk about, and I wanted to make sure that this showed up on the page, on the Spacebar production page, from people who went there in the morning, because it is, it is. You know what? This is the continuation of the nuttiness of Obamacare, and it's entitled "Obamacare Halloween Nightmare." This is the most ridiculous thing ever, but it is what we said it would be. I want to start using the Denny Green meltdown, NFL meltdown. This is exactly what we said it was. There's nothing surprising. It would be a nightmare, and of course, and some of us believe, and I am amongst them, that it is such a nightmare that it's got to be on purpose. That you can't have adults. My deal is, you can't have adults who've been to college, who have had successful careers in anything, be this bad at it by accident. The things that have happened here, you just can't have them be that bad at it by accident. You have to be this bad at it on purpose. You got to play this many wrong notes with this song on purpose to be this bad. Well, information has just come down the pipe that the total number of Obamacare enrollees on the first day was a whopping 6. 6. Now, in order to reach their goal in March of several million enrollees, they've got to enroll 39,000 people every day. 7 days a week. They've got to enroll 39,000 people. Their number, they're behind the 8 ball. Just to say, their number of enrollees the first day was 6. The second day was around 100. The third day was around 249. Now, here's what they'll do. They'll say that from day 2 to day 3, the enrollees went up over 150%. Yeah, it went from 100 to 249 or so. Wrong. I mean, again, you've got to think that this is on purpose. Stuff like wrong phone numbers. Nobody on day one being able to actually go out to an issuer, an insurance company page and sign up. Nobody in the whole system. You have got to put this thing together this badly on purpose. I just can't even imagine that anybody would do. I mean, it would be this bad by accident. By Wednesday afternoon, enrollments were up to approximately 100. By the end of Wednesday, notes reflect that there were 248 enrollments nationwide. Again, the healthcare exchanges need to average about 39,000 enrollees a day to meet the goal of 7 million by March 1st. Here are some of the reasons. Direct enrollment, signing up directly on the insurance website, is not working for anybody. Experian Credit Reporting Agency is creating confusion with credit check information. And you're thinking, credit check? Yeah, credit check. They're doing a credit check on you. They're trying to find out who you are. They're doing an Experian credit check information. It isn't that you just got to sign up for insurance. No, they're doing a credit check. Did you know that the government's doing a credit check on you? Using Experian? Well, we didn't know that. Oh, yeah, because you thought you were getting free health care. You thought that suddenly we were going to be France or we're going to be Canada or we're going to be Great Britain, didn't you? You didn't know that yes. Something else that Nancy Pelosi was right about, that we have to pass it to see what's in it. The issuer's phone numbers are not appearing correctly on the Pay Now page. It's interesting that even now, though, in the meeting that they had with some of the folks who are doing this website, they are not giving out those numbers. Can you imagine that that it would seem like the number of enrollees in a government program would be public record? But here's what happened. It says that this is from CBS News. Statistics are coming in. Says notes from the very first meeting of the morning of October 2nd. Contractor QSSI has a daily dashboard created every night. But the head of SMS, Marilyn Tavenner, would not disclose any figures when Representative Dave Camp, who is the chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, asked earlier this week. Chairman Camp, we will have those numbers available in mid-November, she said. Health and Human Services told CBS News Thursday that it is in no position to confirm or discuss enrollment figures because it doesn't have any. A spokesman suggested the numbers obtained by CBS News may not include all the different ways to enroll, such as paper applications. The spokesman said the enrollment figures in Massachusetts healthcare plan started off negligible, but then skyrocketed. Of course they're going to say that. But again, we've talked about this on the Willie Lawson Show. On the Willie Lawson Show Take Home Edition, on the Willie Lawson Show on Blog Talk Radio, and here on the Willie Lawson Show on Spreaker.com. We've talked about this numerous times. The expectation of a website is completely different. Our expectation is when we're buying something on the web is Amazon, Best Buy. If we're choosing from a number of different companies, we are looking at Expedia.com or Hotels.com, CheapFlights.com, where a lot of information is being put in front of us. Kayak.com, a lot of information is being put in front of us from different vendors, and we're able to choose and pay for that vendor, to pay that vendor right then. And you know what? That's a system that actually works. Please don't think that buying healthcare is anything different. And isn't it interesting that the sites that I mentioned don't do credit checks? If you're going to pay for it, you can pay for it, right? Why does one have to do a credit check? I'm curious why they're doing credit checks. I'm curious why the government is doing credit checks. You're signing up and you're going to pay for it, you pay for it. And if payment doesn't get made, your policy gets canceled. What's the problem? Why does the government have to have your credit information? Anybody comfortable with that? Anybody comfortable? I didn't think so. But there you go. And it is the most amazing thing. And this was a story put together by Cheryl Atkinson. Cheryl Atkinson's been working for CBS News for a long, long time. I like to say that we knew her when Cheryl Atkinson used to be a local person on the on Pulse 13 News here in the Tampa area. But that's what we're finding out. We found out today that there were 6 people enrolled the first day, and by Wednesday there were about 248 people. No, that's through the website, which should be the easiest, quickest way. And I'm guessing that there were probably a few more, but maybe not, that decided to call in. That didn't work, and I can't imagine that anybody decided that they would fill out the papers and send those in. I just can't even imagine. Especially for the first week. which still puts them way back, behind the eight ball when we're talking about having to sign up 39,000 people every day. The system is not designed to sign up 39,000 people every day to do anything. Not at this point. So, you still trust them? You're still happy about how they're doing things? You still, are you really? Are you still excited about this new healthcare thing? Are you excited? I can't imagine that you would be. I can't imagine how you could be. I just can't imagine how you could be. You've been lied to. I remember how upset a lot of you were on both sides of the aisle, really, when there were no weapons of mass destruction found in Iraq. Now, forget that it took so long for anybody to know that they'd been, obviously, to get there, that they had been moved out, and that was an explanation that made the most sense because it was truth. We could see in our in radar photography or satellite photography rather, that you could see trucks going into Iraq and moving things out, and those are some of the very same weapons that we were finding in Syria as of yesterday. But truth notwithstanding, because that's a little much for a lot of you. Truth notwithstanding, you were upset because you felt that you'd been lied to. That's what you said anyway. You said to me that you felt betrayed, that you'd been lied to. Well, how do you feel this morning? How do you feel today on the 1st of November? How do you feel now when you know that you've been lied to? And you're thinking, well, how do you mean been lied to? Well, you've been lied to about the ability to keep your health care insurance. Well, you mean I can't keep my health care insurance? No. Well, why not? Because it doesn't meet the federal regulations. Well, the president said, he did. He said again and again and again and again that if you like your health care, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep it. He said that up until the election of last year. Let's get a little. What time is it? Okay, let's get a little background. A little background on all that nonsense. The Affordable Health Care Bill and Patient Protection Act were signed on May 23rd, 2010. At that point in the law said if you had a policy that was in force on March 23rd, 2010, then that policy you could keep. It would be grandfathered in. Well, when regulations were written and those policies were changed, of course, any change in a policy didn't guarantee that you would be grandfathered in. So how many policies would have changed in the individual market between March 23rd, 2010 and January 1st, 2014, when the law was supposed to be fully implemented? Well, the number of changes usually in that time period is around 40 to 67%. And they're changed for all sorts of reasons. Somebody adds people onto their policy. Maybe you have children. You take people off your policy because your children go to college or and get their own lives and get married or whatever. You have that kind of thing happen. You have, again, births and you have deaths that change insurance policies. Sometimes you just have companies that change their policies, and if the company changes the policy in any small way, guess what? You are no longer grandfathered in. Companies decide to look for a company. The company you're working for is looking for an insurance company that offers a better price, a better product for their employee, and in making that change, you are now no longer grandfathered in. While the president was still running around in 2009 and through the 2012 election still saying the very same lie, that if you like your health care, you can keep it, when he knew damn well that that wasn't the truth. He said it so often that he's had a lot of you saying it. I mean, people were saying it to me. They were saying, Willie, why does the right care so much? Because the president already said that it's not going to, this is not even going to affect most people. I mean, that was a lie that was being told. This is not even going to affect most people. Well, the fact of the matter is it's going to affect a lot of people in the individual market. from its inception, it was going to affect somewhere between 40 to 67% of people in the individual market, because those are the normal numbers of people whose policy over that time period was going to change. 40 to 67%. As it turns out, we're really looking at policies. Somewhere between 50 and 80% of the people who are in the individual market, marketplace in insurance, that are going to lose their policy. Right now, Florida Blue in Florida has announced of 300,000 cancellations in the first round, and that's just one company. Kaiser Medical in California, 160,000. We're looking at a couple of million right now nationwide, amongst a few companies. So it is not. It's not even getting close to stopping, folks. It's not even. I mean, we haven't even gotten started really in the number of cancellations that and a lot of it because they don't meet the government standards. And some of the standards are completely, that whole one-size-fit-all nonsense that we always say never works. Well, if you're a man and you're getting an individual policy, on that policy is maternity. Is maternity coverage. Why do you need maternity coverage? Well, it's on the plan that you have to have, and that you'll pay for, or you will become a welfare recipient. That's right, I said it, welfare recipient. And you're wondering, how in the hell what are you talking about? Well, hang on a second here. Take my medicine here. Take my nitroglycerin tablet, because if I don't take it, my heart will explode in my chest when I tell you what I'm going to tell you now. If you've got nitro to take, you probably should take it too, because you're not going to believe this either. Okay, I'm ready. I make this thing dissolve. There you go. Now, there was a case in Winter Haven, Florida, where this woman who had spent around $54 a month for her health care. She liked it. She liked the price. She felt comfortable with it. She felt confident because it was something that she had access to and she could afford. I mean, that was really amazing. That was amazing for her, that she had something that she liked and she could afford. Well, she got notice from Florida Blue that they were canceling her policy. They were no longer offering it, and the comparable package was $591 a month. It went up 10 times. Now, the article mentioned that she may be eligible for subsidies. Now, what a subsidy is the government saying, "Oh, we'll pay for X amount." Subsidies for healthcare insurance go up to some 400% of whatever the poverty level is. If you can be 400% over the poverty line and receive some subsidy. Now, here's what a subsidy is. Subsidy is the government saying, "Oh, we'll pay for some of that." The government saying, "We'll pay for some of that." You know what that is? That's welfare. This Affordable Care Act will take a lot of people who are independent and make them welfare recipients in order to have health care. In order to, if nothing else, in order to abide with the law, in order to follow the law, they will become welfare recipients. Because they'll have policies they can't afford, and they will need the government subsidy. And I know that you don't like that term, and we talked about that term on the Willie Lawson Show on Blog Talk Radio today. I know you don't like the term because it's a term that you don't like. No one wants to be a welfare recipient, because no one wants to be a welfare recipient. And I know that my friends on the left will be saying, "Well, I'm being hyperbolic." But no, I'm not. I'm just being truthful. and I'm using the language as it was intended to be used. In truth, if you are receiving benefits, especially benefits that you have not paid into from government, you are a welfare recipient, and that's what the government has turned you into. And even if you're just trying to obey the law, I'm not sure this is what you signed up for. So for those of you who are all excited about the Affordable Care Act and Patient Protection Act, henceforth known as Obamacare, please let me know by email, willie@willielawsonshow.com, why you're still excited about it. Why are you still excited about it? And why won't you start telling the truth about this nightmare's this onerous piece of legislation? Why won't you start telling the truth about it? Listen, we're going to be back on Monday with more of the Willie Lawson Show on Blog Talk Radio and here on Spreaker.com. In the meantime, listen, here's what I need you to do. I need you to tweet out this show and attach hashtag iHeartRadio. And we're trying to get this show on iHeartRadio. If you like it, your friends will like it. If you think that we deserve that opportunity, go ahead when you tweet this show out and tell your friends about it. Include hashtag iHeartRadio. Thanks so much for coming this evening to the Willie Lawson Show here on Spreaker.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you.